Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of my garden diaries. My greenhouse is looking better than ever. All of the plants which I've grown inside are now going in the greenhouse. After visiting my family in Shropshire, I return with a rhubarb crown to plant in the garden. All of the plants are coming to life as spring is finally here. It's truly fascinating for me to see the plants from last year just pop up without any assistance. Time to get in the garden and crack on. I started by choosing an area in the garden that needed a bit more attention. This section of grass has not really grown. I think this would be the best place for our rhubarb. The earth which I'm removing I'm using to fill in a small gap between the garden and the fence. Now you'll have to excuse the broken shovel as it was left in the shed when we moved into the house. It still just about does the job, so we'd rather spend money on something else. And now, let's see if the rhubarb fits. It does. I think this bag with the rhubarb crown in may be one of the strangest things I've transported on public transport. But anyway, I'm super excited to get this in the ground. The original rhubarb plant belonged to my grandmother, who I never met as she passed away 2 years before I was born. It's crazy to think that 25 years on, cuttings from her rhubarb crown now sit in the garden of her sons, daughters, and grandchildren. Planting this rhubarb crown in the garden made me think of all the childhood memories of going into the garden, choosing the rhubarb stalks that were really good, and making a rhubarb crumble with my mother. Until now, I never understood the reflective powers of gardening and its abilities to bring up memories and emotions. And that's the rhubarb done and dusted. Now I'll just have to wait for it to grow before I can make that delicious crumble. Now the next task I have been putting off until the drier weather, and here we are. So my pumpkins and courgettes have been growing inside on the windowsill and they've been doing great, but now they're getting a little bit too big, so I'm going to repot them. What you can't see because this video is sped up is the fact that I was being very gentle when pulling apart the plants. I decided that the small green pots were too small, so I popped them into bigger pots. Afterwards, I'll pop them in the greenhouse to avoid the frosts. They're looking nice and happy, so they can go in the greenhouse. Now I'm not potting all of them. Some of them I'm going to pop straight outside just because I don't have enough pots, and we can just see what happens. One of the tasks which I've not quite got round to doing is the second vegetable bed, which these are going to go in. So I'm just quickly turfing up the bits that I need to do, pop the plants in, and I'll do the rest another day because I'm feeling lazy. Now, one thing I didn't consider was that I'd be making lots of friends too. Hopefully, there's no birds watching. And here's our second friend of the day. It's always best to label your plants and to remember to switch the labels when you're repotting, because I have no idea if these are pumpkins or courgettes. But anyway, one's orange, one's green, so we'll find out eventually. These plants are going to have pride of place on the chair in the greenhouse, hopefully away from the slugs. So it's day 2 of this episode and I've been very busy in the garden. George is currently doing the indoor and outdoor herb garden, so he's been very busy. What are you planting at the moment? What seeds are those?
Coriander.
Coriander seeds. Coriander, he's so posh. Coriander seeds, as I'd say. I've been busy planting some purple sprouting broccoli, which is quite easy to do. I've just done 3 rows and I'm about to plant some sunflowers. So the seeds I'm using are these Wilco giant sunflower seeds, and I think it should be pretty straightforward. I just put some holes in the ground and pop them in, so maybe I'm wrong, who knows. So I'm popping 2 to 3 seeds per hole so that hopefully one of them will be stronger than the rest and we can pick out the other ones. Or just leave them, see what happens. And I've got loads more, so I might just put some more down. And we're all done. Because I absolutely love giant sunflowers, I've decided to do one more, and I'm going to pop it in this pot, and hopefully I can attach it to the side of the bar so it'll have a nice big head on it there. And strangely enough, this actually is the pot that our Monstera came in when we bought it from IKEA a few years ago. I'm going to quickly insert a video now to show you what the Monstera looks like, because it is ridiculous. But it's crazy to think that it came in such a small pot like this. I really love using this outdoor space with the bar. It's great for when we're hosting and having parties. We're going to organise a little party for the King's coronation, and it'll be a garden party outside. Unfortunately, the solar lights don't work anymore, so since making this video, I've actually ordered some lights that have a plug fitting instead. They'll be a little bit brighter, a little bit longer. They'll make the space really, really nice, and I can't wait to use them. Hopefully they're a little bit more reliable too. George has been very busy in the background, so let's have a little look at what he's doing. Now this, I haven't seen done before, but is a great life hack if you have loads of stickers hanging around. This is the label for what we established earlier to be coriander, as George calls it, not coriander. I was finally feeling up to the challenge, so I dusted my hands and I got ready. And my gosh, was this a task. Lots and lots of work. The painful thing for me looking back at these videos whilst editing is the fact that we have a rake in the shed, but it was just hiding and I just couldn't see it. So that is the second bed dug, and now I'm going to get on and plant the onions. What are those? Yes, they are my Crocs, and I don't just wear them for gardening. I absolutely love them. I wish this video was sponsored because that would be my favourite thing in the world. You should get a pair if you haven't already. And if Crocs, you're watching this right now, please pay me. I don't know how this works, but sure. We've really accomplished so much in the last 48 hours. We've done the 2 vegetable beds, we've planted out all of our plants from inside to the greenhouse, and the garden is starting to really take shape. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my other adventures, make sure to subscribe, and take care. See you soon.